Today I'll be showing you a simple ICT Silver Bullet Strategy. You know, uh, I feel like it's simple for me because I've literally been learning it for a week and I don't think I've had any drawdowns or basically taken any losses yet. Basically because I think I understand the concepts of liquidity. That's what made me understand this concept even faster. I understand, in my opinion. So you guys can use this as a beginner, perfectly as a beginner. you know. And the nice thing about this is that it's fixed, and it deals with time. So you can literally use this into your advantage. So before we start, you guys can just, you know, like the video, give it a thumbs up and stuff. Subscribe even if this is your first time. This is my first video, but yeah, if you view wherever you view this, you can just drop a thumbs up, drop a follow, whatever, you know. Let's just get right into it, man. So I'm just going to be using a backtesting app just so that I can show you guys how it works. I'm going to be using Nasdaq for this pair, right? So, guys, this is how the silver bullet works, okay? There's a silver bullet for the London session and there's one for the for the other session. One for the London session and the one for the 3 to 4, but it deals with the New York time zone. Understand? BC minus 4. So the other one is for 10 to 11, BTC minus 4. Okay? So the one that I identified right here that I'll show you is that this is the one that I found at at 10, right? So I just select the interval right there for 10. Let me just do this. Grab my 2. Just grab my 2. Just give me a second. Grab my vertical line, right? So you just say 10 and then you do another one for till 11, right? So the thing is, with this 10 to 11 interval, you're gonna find a fair value gap, right? But before you find a fair value gap, this is how it works. For it to work, it has to take out liquidity at either sell side or buy side. You understand? Right there we have buy side liquidity, so you can just measure it, basically just put it in there. Right, that's my buy side liquidity, and then we have the sell side right here. So what you want is the market should either take out either one of those first, you understand, before it reaches this 10 to 11 timed interval, right? So we can just press the play here to see how it formed, right? As you can see at this point right there, this I remember this because I was trading this. What happened at this time was 3:30 South African time, right? South African time 3:30, we were heading towards that point. So what I saw was that it grabbed this order block right there, right? From that order block, it reversed. Let's just see how it went. So you could basically take out this side of the liquidity, right? Came back, retested, right? And boom, right there. Can you see? It basically went out and grabbed this liquidity there. So meaning that since it took out the sell side liquidity here, during this interval, we're going to be finding a reversal, basically. That's what it is. It's a reversal. So since now we are at this candlestick timed interval, right? What does the market do? The market has to present what we call a fair value gap, right? In this interval, you can see at the start of the 10, it presented the what do you call this? This fair value gap. So we can delete this since it already formed. You already saw half-past 3 fundamental side. When the Nasdaq opened, we went to go grab this sell side. So right now we're reversing with it. The 10 to 11, it created a fair value gap. It helps to create a fair value gap. Okay, this is how the ICT person who's this, who the ICT Michael thingy explains it. Okay. So since we already got that fair value gap at the 10 to 11 interval, right? The thing is, it's supposed to come back reverse because this was the creation of the fair value gap. Okay, since this was the creation of the fair value gap, it has to come back, tap into it, and then basically just target the opposing side of the liquidity, which is to take out these equal highs up there, right? You can just play. As you can see, it went inside of the fair value gap, right? It went inside of the fair value gap. So what happened right there? It started meandering, it went up, created an order block, came back, reversed on that order block, and then started shooting up, shooting up, right? So there's also liquidity up there. Let's see. Since it reached this point right there, right? Since it reached this point right there, you want to see if it takes out that high or not, right? So you can just put in the horizontal ray right there. Put in the horizontal ray right there, right? You can see that just use the wick up here. Yeah, just use the wick up here. Let's see what it does. It generates liquidity. As you can see, it didn't even wipe out that high already. It started reversing. So potentially, since we already identified our two order blocks right there, let me just do this again. Since I already identified my two order blocks right there that I created, we're still inside that fair value gap because you can see that's where the market reversed. But I'm going to use this order block just basically to refine an entry, right? We could have been holding right there for our buys. When we got to that high right there, we could have just basically exited, right? So after then, what does it do? It leaves out an order block right here, right? This is an order block right here, and this is also an order block in that interval. So let's just see how it respects. Okay, comes inside that, meanders around, generates liquidity, and then let's just check, taps into that and basically reacts instantly, right? Comes back, okay, comes back, plays around, comes back, taps into it. Let's just do this, zoom out a bit to check how it forms. And then basically it started meandering around, and then it did what? It basically shot up to take out that high up there. Can you see? Immediately took out that high, started reversing. So since you're already holding this, right, you could have gotten more entries down here. Because now look, even though there was an order block right there, there was a what here? This was a high, right? So basically this right there acts as liquidity as well. So what happens at this point? Just put in another line. This horizontal ray, we're gonna use this one. You can see since it took out this high, this was basically manipulation movement, right? So since the manipulation movement happened, right, you can come, by the time it closes inside of that point, you can basically just use maybe like a 5 minute, right? 5 minutes. Just use maybe like a 5 minute. Sorry. How do you delete this? Okay, let's just use this interval, sorry. Use this interval and use the 5 minutes. I want to show you how you could have gotten this entry again before it shot up, right? Let's just do this. We're right here. Before it shot up, we're right here. We just use this play right there. Okay. So you see that it took out the liquidity right there, right? You can play it. Let's just make it, yeah. So as we play this, oh my gosh. Alright, give me some time. This is the first time using this replay, whatnot. I rarely even use it. But basically, let's just do this. Because we're under 5 minutes, that's why it's moving a bit harder. So it creates this, right? As it creates this, what happens? Comes back and reverses, okay, and then shoots up, right? So now I want to show you where you could have gotten another entry, because remember we're still holding that order block entry, right? But for more entries, where you could have basically gotten in was at this point. You see right there, there was liquidity, there was a fair value gap right here. There's a gap that pierced through this and this. So it made a fair value gap, right? But now in between this fair value gap inside, can you see what it did? It acted as liquidity. So what I say that liquidity, if you understand liquidity, you can basically enter anything, because before any trade, you just know that there's some sort of liquidity that's to form, right? To tap inside this fair value gap right there. So this is where you could have gotten entries. But to refine your entry, what you could have done is you could have basically went down to a 1 minute time frame, right? Let's just wait for it to load. Just wait for it to do a 1 minute. Right? Look at this. Where the fair value gap we identified was right here. But now look here. This was what? This was basically say others call it the order block, I call it a demand. See, as it tapped into the demand, it basically just did what? Acted as an inducement liquidity into the demand, and basically what? Just shot up. Can you see? So it doesn't always take this time. It doesn't take this much time for it to basically wipe out that point up there, right? But you can see from there, it just decided to shoot up, and shoot up, and shoot up. It reversed there, and this is where I got out, but you can see it started shooting up again, right? Because why? There's also liquidity up there that's forming, right? It's forming right there. So yeah, guys, this is how a silver bullet works. In between this timed interval, the 3 or 4 or 10 to 11 New York time zone, right? It has to give you a fair value gap after it took out either one of the side of the liquidity, either buy side or sell side, right? Most of the time, it doesn't even do that by taking out yet, but it will present a fair value gap. Basically, it's continuation to go take it out. So just identify fair value gaps at that point to go take out either side of the liquidity. And that's basically how you could have used the strategy, right? With confluence to liquidity concepts like imbalances of fair value gaps to basically get a trade idea. So you guys tell me how you can basically backtest on your own. This actually does work, it does work. So you can tell me how you can implement this. Test it, man. Test it and then see how it works out for you. I promise you, you will make money. You will make money, So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. I'll be posting more strategies, not just the silver bullet. I know every strategy, guys, when it comes to trend lines. So whether if you're doing pure price, whatnot, if you're doing trend lines, support and resistance, and whatnot, I'm there. I can show you. Just make sure that you stay tuned for whenever I drop, and I'll give you basically nice strategies, guys. Nice strategies that you can use to basically, basically free mentorship. So, yeah, guys, take care.